DJ Lagway has the physical traits and tools to be the number one overall pick, but his turnovers and inconsistencies as a passer are holding him back.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast. I'm Damian Parson, and today's episode is all about DJ Lagway, new quarterback for the Baylor Bears, transferred from Florida with the Gators this past offseason after the 2025 college football season to the Baylor Bears. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to explain my grade for him, throw out any potential physical comps. We're going to discuss the concerns that I have for his profile right now heading into the college football season. But as always, we start with the pros and the things that he does well. Listed at 6'3", 240 pounds. This is a physically gifted. DJ Lagway has an elite combination of size, strength, and arm talent and physical traits to be the first overall pick in an NFL draft class. He's just that physically gifted and talented. He's coming off a season at Florida last year where he completed 63.2% of his passes, thrown for 2,264 yards, and had a total of 17 touchdowns. And when you talk about what he does well and where does it start for him, it starts with the physical traits and ability. DJ Lagway has elite arm strength and arm talent. There's no area of the field that is untouchable or inaccessible to him or for him. He can attack and target anywhere on the field. Those cliches in scouting where you hear he can make every throw in the book, DJ Lagway physically can make every throw in the book. And when I mean not just the standard NFL throws, those superstar throws, rolling to your left, jump throws down the left sideline, he can make those type of throws. The 60, 70-yard bomb where the ball just pops off his arm like fireworks, those type of throws. Yes, he can make every single throw. He is gifted. He is a gifted passer from a physical arm strength standpoint. And that ability to push the ball into tight windows, right? You're throwing in the middle of the field, throwing between somebody, throwing it past the ear hole of a spot dropping linebacker, between two backers that are dropping in their zones in front of that safety who's dropping back, and he's throwing that deep in cut at 12. He can fire it in there with the best of them. He's got a powerful arm that he truly can push the ball down the field with relative ease. Remember how we used to talk about Vic, and it was a flick of the wrist, and Anthony Richardson, and got Malik Willis, and how he's able to power the football to anywhere he wants. Like DJ Lagway that's how it feels. I saw him uncork a deep ball to one of his, I can't remember if it was Mizell or Brown, one of the receivers at Florida last year, and it was like child's play. It was not a throw that took a lot out of him or took a lot from him. He literally just let it rip. And I was like, I feel like he might have more in the tank. Like he's got more yards in there. He just let that one rip and put air in. That's the thing. It had air. It was like an airplane that was taking off, right? You get that running start and it gets up and it gets that arc. It just climbed. And while it climbed, it was gaining ground. Like it was covering ground. And I was like, yeah, like he's a guy that needs some fast wide receivers. If you really want to allow him to go off and go crazy, but just physically gifted. But let's continue to talk about the physical tools and go to athleticism. He's a good athlete. 6'3", 240, who I believe if he was in the offense that implemented his legs, right? You remember how Florida would use Anthony Richardson and stuff? If they did that with him, he could average, like in college for sure, and in the NFL, I truly believe this. He could average anywhere from, if depending on how he wanted to, 300 to 500 yards rushing easy, right? Again, this is a muscle-bound, well-built, well-proportioned, strong, just thick-framed, muscular framed quarterback. He is physically like just Like, he's physically proportionate. He is strong. He is powerful from a physical standpoint and from a athletic standpoint. So you're talking about QB power, QB zone reads, things of that nature. You can do that with DJ Lagway. You can do some of the QB power run if he wants to do those things. I truly believe he's a quarterback that does want to play from the pocket, but if he's open to that, especially in the red zone, he can have 10, 12 touchdowns a season, man. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he's the same. Like, if you stand him and Jalen Hurts, and we know how strong and big Jalen Hurts is from a body type standpoint, he might be right there with Hurts, man. That this kid is strong. He looks like he lifts weights and takes care of his body. So you're talking about having that and the strength, the natural strength, the functional strength in the pocket. He has not just plus athleticism to improvise and create with his legs, but then also he has sack avoidance. He has good pocket presence in the sense of being able to feel when the rush is getting there and the pocket's collapsing and getting out and breaking contain. And if you do get a hand on him, he's strong enough to get free. There's some throws he made last year where you had that edge rusher won the rep early. He climbs the pocket because he does navigate the pockets pretty solidly in terms of DJ Lagway. And then that edge rusher's grabbing at him and he just rips through it and then rips the throw. And I'm like, this dude is strong. Like, he is strong, man. And it's just, those are the things that you see with him. But he has the physical traits to pull off the superhuman hero ball-esque plays. The plays that only those with the physical traits can pull off. The things we've seen Lamar Jackson do, not from, like, Lamar, different athlete, different runner, agility, different. But just that ability to to avoid the sack, not be tackled, move around the pocket, get out of the pocket, and then throw the ball down the field. The stuff we see Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, those hero ball type of plays and throws. Yes, DJ Lagway has a physical ability to do that. He will climb the pocket vertically. The ball truly flies off of his hand. And again, to me, one thing I really noted with him, he's comfortable. And I think that goes back to the physical traits conversation. He's very comfortable throwing from muddy pockets, right? He's comfortable throwing from a pocket with defenders around his feet. A lot of quarterbacks aren't comfortable with that 9 times out of 10 because they don't have the arm strength to throw and for the ball to get from point A to point B on its travel destination and they can't step into the throw. He has that type of arm strength and arm talent that even if he can't step into the throw, he can absolutely put velocity behind it, right? He's just a naturally and physically gifted thrower of the football. So he can throw from muddy pockets. Now, is that a blessing and a curse? You betcha it is. You betcha it is. It's 100% a gift and a curse. And we'll talk about the curse part a little bit later in the next topic, in the next segment. But again, physically, he's got an elite combination. Size, athleticism, arm strength, frame, power, strength, the ability to make off-platform throws, on-platform throws, and the willingness to sit in the pocket and throw from it. He's not a quarterback that has to run, right? He's not a quarterback that has to run to set up his throwing. No, he can throw from the pocket, and I truly believe, watching him, I see a quarterback that wants to sit in the pocket, be protected, and throw the football. And I think that's a good problem to have. That's not even a problem. That's a good thing to have. That's a good baseline because, okay, we already have this. This is already inside your DNA as a quarterback. I don't have to try and teach that to you and coach that into you. Okay, great. We can work on some of the other things, some of the inconsistencies mechanically and everything else that I'm about to get into. So coming up next, guys, again, I talked about the pros and the arm strength, the physical gifts, the physical talents, and why he could be an NFL draft class #1 overall pick and the first, not just quarterback, but player off the board. But what's holding him back? Inconsistencies all around. I'm going to talk about that coming up next. Support for today's episode comes from Square. Behind so many of the local businesses people visit every day is Square, a platform designed to help businesses sell, manage, and grow. Whether it's a neighborhood coffee shop, a packed sports bar on game day, or your favorite restaurant, Square brings payments, banking, and more together in one connected system. Square isn't just a payment processor. It's a complete business platform built to simplify the day-to-day. And it's the little things for me, like when a restaurant is slammed, but the staff never looks overwhelmed or stressed, or when checkout is fast, no matter how busy it gets. You're not waiting around. Nothing feels chaotic. And it feels organized. If you're starting a business or running one that deserves better tools, Square helps you sell, manage, and grow without slowing down. Right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/LockedOnNFL. That's SQUARE.com/GO/LockedOnNFL. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today. Breaking down the concerns, the flaws, I would say, of DJ Lagway's game against 6'3", listed as 240 pounds with elite physical tools and traits. Let's start with the mechanics. His throwing mechanics are inconsistent. He has tendencies to fade away when he's throwing, being heel clicky in the pocket. There's some toesiness at times, and he'll, again, it could be, I truly feel like it's arm arrogance. He'll even throw off his back foot. And all of that has a negative impact on accuracy, on ball placement, and overall results of the play. Because when your mechanics are awry, the ball doesn't have the right stuff behind it to make sure it's supposed to get to where it's supposed to get to, which is its intended target, right? But not only just that, it leads to turnovers and turnovers in bunches. Protecting the football is a thing that DJ Lagway is going to have to get better at this season at Baylor. Now, he does have this season, which is his true junior year, and he has the 2027 college football season ahead of the 2028 NFL draft. So he does not have to come out if he doesn't take a big enough step for him to feel comfortable going to the league. But you want to see him not turn the ball over. When I say turn the ball over in bunches, he had 14 turnovers last year. Against LSU, he threw 5 interceptions. Against Mississippi State, he threw 2 interceptions. Against Kentucky, against Kentucky, 3 interceptions. So you're talking about 10 of the 14 in 3 games. Turnovers in bunches. Protect the football. I want to see him make better decisions. When I'm watching him, I see a quarterback that is making turnover-worthy decisions and plays in the pocket. You want to see him just be better with that in general. Find that balance as well of throwing with velocity, between throwing with velocity and power and touch. Always pulling the string, putting air underneath the ball, throwing and layering the football. When you're facing zones in the NFL, a key to it, watch some of the best. We just dropped our NFL top 1,000 over at Bleacher Report last week. And I had to watch a lot of quarterbacks, guys, in the NFL, which was great because it's going to help me scout better this year, this 2027 NFL draft season, because I got to see firsthand really off the film of what, like for the not so physically gifted guys like a Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, what offense do you need to be in? What traits do you need to have to succeed, right? Different things of that nature. But then also the physically gifted guys, those superheroes, the Lamars, the Mahomes, the Herberts, the Allens, those guys. I'm forgetting somebody, right? Like why are you successful, right? So all of that. One thing you see in the NFL is throwing in the middle of the field against zone coverages. And if we're running dagger and we have a deep end cut, that 12 to 15 yard in, and they're facing zone, you're facing zone, you got spot droppers, you need to be able to layer that ball over the head with a feathery touch, layer it over those underneath defenders if they're dropping back. Now, if the play caller is able to give you that 12 to 15 in cut with a slant or a shallow cross that's going to pull at least one of that's a gravitational pull, that eye candy to one of those backers, one of those middle field defenders, great. But either way, you need to be able to layer that ball over the underneath defenders, but also put it in front of so you want to layer over and behind the underneath defenders and then put it out in front of the safeties. If it's middle of the field close, single high, you got to be able to layer that football. And those are the type of things with him. It's a lot of rockets. It's a lot of blast offs. It's a lot of light the fireworks and he needs to find that balance. And I think he can. I've listened to him speak. This is an intelligent, smart young man. I believe he can figure it out, but he's got to figure it out. Now, anticipatory throws. That's something that we need to see improve as well, because when it pertains to DJ Lagway, because you had that arm arrogance, you can be late on some throws physically, right? I saw it with Josh Allen from last year, right? I saw it with Matthew Stafford sometimes. Like when you have elite caliber arm strength, you can afford to be a tick or two late, even in the NFL. You can. You don't want to make a habit of it, but you can. So for him, I want to see him. I know you have the arm talent to be late sometimes. You can't play late. Throw with more anticipation. Don't wait for guys to break. Don't need to be a see it, throw it quarterback. I want to see DJ Lagway take that step from an anticipatory throwing standpoint so that he can get the ball out. I'm talking 3-step drop, 1, 2, 3, balls out. But let's flesh out this conversation. What goes into that, or what's a big part of that? Identifying, and like you talk about post-snap recognition. That's a major part of this thing as well, guys. Post-snap recognition is pivotal if you are going to be able to play on time, because you need to understand. You need to understand what the defense is throwing at you. Identify the shell, the safeties. Is it one high? Is it 2 high? Do they go 3 high? You know what I mean? Are the safeties kind of at a different midpoints or different alignment points? It looks like 2 high, but that strong safety is about 5 to 6 yards in front of that free safety, letting me know one of these guys are rotating after the snap. But more than likely, right? It helps you with this. I always say this. Every play for a quarterback, especially passing play, or every play period, it is a multiple choice question, right? Whether it's they're too high, they got a small front. Yes, we're under, or we're in shotgun. Yes, we're in 12 out of shotgun. Okay, cool. We have a passing play call, but we can run the ball on these boys. There's seven guys in the box. That's the right answer. Run it, right? Don't just throw it into the pass coverage. If you can dominate them on the ground, call it. I saw Tom Brady do it. I saw Drew Brees do it. I saw Peyton Manning do it. Those guys will come to the line of scrimmage, identify what coverage shell you're in, realize what the box count is, and say, you know what, kill, can, and then they change the play, and now they're running their running back up the A gap, and they're getting 15 yards. Why? Because your front 7 is lightweight, sand in the pants, and they're not ready for the physicality of our run game. But if we threw it, we're playing into your strengths of your coverage shell. So I want to see him identify things like pre-snap and post-snap. See what they're in pre-snap, but make sure you confirm it post-snap. Let's talk about identifying safeties post-snap and not being fooled by defensive picture changes. When guys are rotating, like he threw a pick, I think it was against Mississippi State. He threw a pick, I believe it was against Mississippi State. It came out, both safeties were low hole safeties, but the free safety was playing the seam. The strong safety on the opposite hash was working back over top. So when I tell you he didn't confirm where the safeties were, he confirmed the one. And that was the one right in because he stared at the receiver. He was throwing to the tight end up the seam. He's throwing the seam route. It's in the high red zone. He wanted the touchdown. But instead of, okay, I see him. Where's that other safety? Instead of doing that, he just said, this safety is sitting underneath. Oh, it's money. So he tries to layer it, but put enough RPMs and velocity on it. Wasn't enough. That safety from the backside rotated over the top, undercut it, interception. You can't have those type of plays. You got to be able to confirm you see it pre-snap, now confirm it post-snap, DJ. If he does these things, guys, I'm telling you, his game is going to take a massive step, because once a game slows down to when he's more reading and reacting than thinking, oh, man. When you have elite physical tools, once the game is able to slow down for you, you become a different monster in your own, right? So, again, and I'll finish up the concerns part. He lacks consistency hitting the singles and the doubles. Me and Keith said this all the time. Too much feast or famine. Too much chasing the big play, looking for the deep ball, looking for the explosive plays. Let's hit the singles and the doubles. Why a guy like Brock Purdy can be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL? He understands the importance of the singles. I don't need a triple. I don't need a home run every time. Let me hit that 5-yard hitch. Let me hit Deebo Samuel on that 5-yard slant and let my playmaker make the play. Right? He understands that. I always say this. If the NFL can start teaching the toolsy quarterbacks to play, I'm not saying you play exactly like Tom, but play as a game manager first. If you learn how to manage the game, take the single, they open the double. When the double opens up, you hit the double enough, now a triple play opens up, then you get the home run. Like, it's converting baseball and football. I know it's different, right? You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. If somebody's up to bat, that's not a home run threat. How many times we see the infield climb in, they close in, like, hey, everybody coming up. This guy, he doesn't have the power. But if you got the power, what do? They back it up, which opens the door for, hey, you hit it and you get it past that shortstop, you get that single. You boom, hit it into past the second baseman and into in between the far outfielder, you can get that double and even triple play. Then of course, if you get over their heads, man, you get that at the park. It's a home run. So I want to see him just continue to evolve his game. But guys, coming up next, man, we're gonna explain the grade of what I have for DJ Lagway. Again, could be a first overall pick. We talked about what's holding him back. So where is he right now? We'll talk about that coming up next. The Locked On NFL Draft Podcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a homer today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. And sometimes it's a hitter who's been on the hot streak, a favorable pitching matchup, or even a ballpark that tends to give up home runs. Those are always the first things I look at before making my Daily Dingers picks. So are you ready to play your game today? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. Again, join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen of the day. And thank you for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network in America. It's all because of you, our everydayers. Explaining the grade for Baylor Bear new quarterback, DJ Lagway, former Florida Gator quarterback. I gave DJ Lagway over at Bleacher Report a 7.4. It's a top of the third round grade. Right now, because we're working on our grading system, might be changing some things, but right now it's a high level backup starter upside. And that's why I look at him as right now. There's still a lot of development that needs to happen. Just listen, he still, at this point in time, he's got 2 years left of eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. This year, right? His junior year, and then the following year, his senior year. So again, a lot of meat on the bone of development that can happen and that could take place. It truly could take place in 2026 before the 2027 NFL draft, and he's a first-round pick. Right now, I have him as a guy I would want to come in. My plan for DJ would be simple. I'm going to draft him, sign a veteran, let him learn for half the season, and give him a runway, right? Give him the last 6 games, last 7 games, 8 games, depending on how bad the vet is. If the vet's good and we win the games, hey, you seen what it feels like to be a winner in the NFL. You get to watch a guy that's leading us to 10 win season or 11 win season, and no one expected, then cool, great. You get to see what being a pro is really like, and that is important. But if we're not winning games, right? Say Jacoby Brissett's our quarterback, and we're not winning games, then no, yeah, part about week 10 or week 9, if our bye week is in the middle of the season, right, between like somewhere between 7 and 10, whenever that bye week hits, I'm getting you prepared, and that we're hitting the ground running. We're going to deal with the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs. Again, 6'3", 240 pound, elite arm strength and physical ability, plus level athlete. Everything to be an absolute game changer at the quarterback position is there for him. Is there for him without question. Without question. I see that with him, but we have to get him to a place where his game has matured overall. And I think if we can do that with DJ Lagway, we're going to feel great about it. We're like, because I'm going to be honest, even though this is just a summertime grade, guys, so this is subject to change. As I say about it, it's subject to change. Okay. It is. But if because we all know that the NFL is a traitsy type of league too. So at the end of the day, the NFL, they see a guy with his physical ability. I'm not saying they're going to take him in the first round. No, I'm not saying that. But somebody's going to talk to themselves, even if it's just a second round, and say, you know what? Sign me up. Let's draft him. Let's draft him, right? Let's draft him. But at the same time, you couldn't even be mad. You could not even be mad if they said that. If you're a fan, because you're like, you know what? He's got the physical ability and physical tools to be that type of quarterback and to be a problem, to be a game changer. So yes, while I have a 7.4 top of the third round grade on him right now, that could easily jump a whole round, even to 2 rounds, and he's in the first round if he takes the next step in his development, becoming more accurate, becoming more consistent as a passer, knowing when to layer and throw a touch, and when to use his arm strength and arm talent. All of that stuff matters. All of it matters. Like, we have to get there first. And if we can get there, all bets are off. Like, this young man can absolutely be, again, a true game-wrecking player, at the next level, right? And that's just the truth. And so when I think about like potential comps for him, you know what I mean? Of course, the first one came to mind, and God rest his soul, one of my favorite quarterbacks was Steve McNair, body type-wise. McNair was 6'2", 230 pounds, rocket arm, dense physical build, could run the ball, run with power, run you over, stiff arm, can make every throw in the book, man. That's what he could do. And it's like, yeah, if he hits that ceiling, he could be that. He could 100% be that. Could he also be Malik Willis, where he's that project that if you nurture him and allow him to just work and learn, 2 years, he's a starting quarterback. The Tennessee Titans, they have Cam Ward. Don't do what Vrabel and whoever it was. You know what I mean? Like, that was a situation where that staff got Malik Willis, right? And instead of taking the lemons and making lemonade, they bit the peel off the lemon and got pissed off at the lemon. That's what they did, right? But it just took some time for Malik, and I'm rooting for him, right? I wasn't happy with how the Dolphins addressed the receiver position. No, I was not. I still think they should go get Keenan Allen, right? Like, but Caleb Douglas is doing well and different things like that. Hey, he could end up being their star receiver this year. You got Jalen Tolbert, who says he knows what he can do, and you got my a friend of the show, Malik Washington. Shout out to my bro. I'm hoping that he goes out there and kills it this year. But could DJ Lagway be another version of that? Right? He's listed at 6'3". What if he is 6'2"? I think he's 6'3", because Malik is 6'1", like 6 foot and a half, 220. So a little bit different in terms of height and weight, but just the tools and the physical ability is very, very, very similar. So again, I look at the Steve McNair situation, like, that's high end for number one. That's high end. I'm just saying, like, could he get to a situation and develop and play his best? If he plays his best, I think he could be a Steve McNair, just franchise quarterback that you have for years to come, God willing and everything else. But yeah, I think Malik Willis is the other end of that spectrum where you have that super toolsy kid that is just still raw, that needs development. And I think, but I would, again, here's the great thing about NIL from a scouting standpoint. These players are getting paid, so they get to go back and get as many reps as they truly need. Honest to God, because I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking it up right now. I believe DJ Lagway has started. I think he started 2 full seasons. So let's see. Like, he has started 19 career games, right? He started 7 as a true freshman, 12 last year as a true sophomore. So already, like, remember, the threshold is 25 to 30. I think 25 is the minimum. He's going to pass that within the first 6 games of the season, right? First 6 games of the season, albeit he stays healthy, he's going to surpass the 25 start mark. So talking about by the end of the season, he plays another, I don't know, depending on how far they go, like another 12 games, he's going to have 31 starts. He's going to have 31 starts by the end of the 2026 college football season if he stays healthy and if Baylor doesn't make it to the Big 12 championship game or a playoff run. I'm just saying, guys. So again, that's how I look at it, man. DJ Lagway, supremely talented, elite physical tools and traits. Now we got to see the mental, the game slow down for him. We got to see better decision making. We got to see him play better mentally. And then mechanically and technique wise, so that he can really hit that super high ceiling that I believe he has. But that's the show today, guys. Breaking down DJ Lagway, explaining the grade and the NFL comps, the high end and the lower end of the spectrum. Talked about the concerns, and I talked about the pros when it came down to his game. As always, go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts to get the latest episode as soon as it is available. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we're going to be talking about the preseason, week 1, talk about some of the rookies. Fernando Mendoza, they said he's going to play a pretty decent amount against the Cardinals. So we're going to break all that down on tomorrow. So come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.